This is tutorial number 164, and it is the intro to the Flex feature within SOLIDWORKS. To start off, open up tutorial part number 164, which is located on the DVD. So in this tutorial, I'm just going to cover a few basic parameters of the Flex feature, and then in the following tutorials, we're going to be going over specific examples of using the Flex feature. So to get to the Flex feature, all we have to do is click Insert, Feature, click Flex, and now we have the Flex feature dialog menu on the side. So the basic features that I'm going to go over are going to be the trim plane, 1 and 2, and the triad. And by using these three variables, you're able to apply it to the bending, twisting, tapering, and stretching flex within SOLIDWORKS. So the first thing you have to do is select the body that you want to flex. So have this box highlighted and just select this body. So you'll see that you have two planes shown and a triad. So what the trim planes are and what they mean is that whatever is in between the two trim planes is going to be flexed, or whatever it is going to be bending, twisting, tapering, or stretching. So whatever is in between those two trim planes is what's going to be affected by your flex. So as you can see, you have trim plane 1 corresponds to trim plane 1, trim plane 2 corresponds to trim plane 2. So you're either able to select a point to move it. So say we want to move it to a point. So let's click this, and this is on trim plane 1. Let's move it to this point here. Now your trim plane moves there, and everything behind it is not going to be affected by the flex. Now you can also do it just by moving it. So let's move trim plane 2. As you increase it, it goes in. As you decrease it, it goes out. So you're able to pull this in nice and tight, and you have a different region now than what you began with. So anything in between here is going to be affected by the flex. Now with the triad, you're able to move around your trim planes. So you're able to move around the angle and where they're actually going to be coming into contact. So by playing around with this, you're able to play around with where your trim planes are when you play with this axis. Now your triad is also dependent on the bending axes. So you can see the bend axis is here. As you move these around, that's going to be, the axis that is going to move your, in this case, the bending feature. So your triad also it's responsible for the trim plane as well as the bending, twisting, tapering, or stretching. So by moving this around, you're moving around where your action is going to take place around. And if you, with the triad again, you can either move it around manually with your hand, or you're able to do it with the triad box here. So as you increase, it's going to increase, decrease. You're able to put it on an angle, and you can see that everything is moving on an angle too, relatively to the triad. So your trim planes. So with these tools, you're able to manipulate what area you want on your part to have the flexing, and where something like your bend axis and just where it's going to take place around. So these are just the basic features that we're going to be using in the next 4 tutorials that we're going to be covering the bending, twisting, tapering, and stretching. So this is just an intro just to show you what we're going to be doing, and when I refer to like a trim plane, how we're going to be moving them around, and just a basic little intro into the whole Flex feature. So this concludes our tutorial on the Flex feature within SOLIDWORKS.